भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भगवति उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण
ईश्वर परमा कृष्ण
सच्चिदानन्द विग्रह
चिदानन्द विग्रह
नादिरादिर्गोविन्द
अनादिरादिर्गोविन्द
सर्वकारणकारणम्
सर्वकारणकारणम्
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकीनन्दनाय च
देवकीनन्दनाय च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Okay, so we are looking into chapter 9, and the 9th chapter is entitled as Further Consideration of Devotional Principles. Okay, so these devotional principles are, sometimes we take things for granted, I'm chanting, I don't have to worry for anything, right? So that sometimes it puts us in the illusion that okay, we are chanting, we are perfect, I don't have to do anything else. But Rupa Goswami Prabhupada has given the 64 items of how devotional service has to be performed. And some of these, in these chapters, he explained that what are the consideration of devotional principles. And these are the principles that, you know, help us to uh, self-realize as soon as possible, in the sense that quicker we can reach Krishna, or quicker we can progress in our devotional life. Okay. And otherwise, if we don't just follow, it may be a longer route, and we may not be knowing what we are doing, or what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do. So by following these guidelines by Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, that helps us to put in the right direction, and help us to progress in our journey towards spirituality. Okay, here I just skim through quickly. Blaspheming the devotees, right? Here, and in every section here, Prabhupada beautifully quoting from Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, and Brihad Naradiya Purana, is giving it examples and how these have effects on our consciousness, right? So here, I'm just skim through, then I'll go to my section. One should not tolerate blaspheme of the Lord or his devotees. Period. That's it. And also he says that the Sukadeva Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj, my dear king, if a person, after hearing blasphemous propaganda against the Lord and his devotees, does not go away from that place, he becomes bereft of the effect of all pious activities. So blaspheming the devotees, okay, that's very, very common mistake we do, and we take things granted, but the effects are very uh, very grave. So we should be very careful. Okay. And tilaka and tulsi beads, how important to put tilaka. Padma Purana stating this, Vaishnava should decorate his body with tilaka and beads. Persons who put tulsi beads on the neck, who mark 12 places of their bodies as Vishnu temples with Vishnu symbolic representations. Okay. And their presence makes the world purified. So devotees, when you go with tilaka, kantimala, and nice clothes, and how when you go for preaching, etc., how that purifies, and also by seeing the person, they can immediately remember Krishna also, right? And here Prabhupada says, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha. So that's why people call our bodies also like a temple, right? To decorate with nice tilak and kantimala, okay, nice Vaishnava clothes. That reminds Vishnu and his devotees. And Prabhupada gives certain examples of Skanda Purana, who decorated with tilakas, Gopi Chandana, etc., etc. Accepting flower garlands, when we get the Mahaprasad from the uh, deities, the next instruction is that one should put on flower garlands that are offered on to the deity. In this connection, in the 11th canto, 6th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhava says to Krishna, "My dear Krishna, I have taken things that you have used and enjoyed, such as garlands of flowers, scented oils, garments, and ornaments, and I eat only the remnants of your foodstuff because I am your menial servant." So, when you receive flowers from the deities and we take as a Mahaprasad, we wear them. So that's also other kind of what you call purificatory process, I would say. Okay. And even if one does not accept all the Vaishnava principles, but still takes the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna or Krishna Prasada, you gradually become qualified to rise the platform of Vaikuntha. So the Krishna, look at the mercy, or look at the mercy of Krishna, that how many ways, how many he gives so many chances for us how to purify and how to come to closer to Krishna, right? Because he is our supreme father, and we came out of him saying that I want to live independently, and Krishna knows that we want to live independently, then he is trying every possible way to make us to come to closer to him. Because as you know, when children go away from home, we make arrangements so that my child can come back and stay with me. The same way Krishna is giving so many simple rules how to elevate our consciousness and how we can approach to Krishna very close. And Prabhupada giving Skanda Purana, Lord Brahma tells Narada, "My dear Narada, anyone who puts on his neck the flowers garland which was formerly used by Krishna becomes relieved from all disease and reactions to sinful activities. And gradually he is liberated from the contamination of matter." Look at that. How it looks act as a simple, but the benefits are enormous. Dancing before the deity. You all know that, right? How important that, right? Dancing before the deity. Just as clapping the hands, one can cause many birds to fly away. Similarly, the birds of all simple activities which are sitting on the body can be fly away by simply dancing and clapping before the deity of Krishna, right? And Prabhupada being how clapping helps. Like, example Prabhupada giving that, if you have a tree, the birds are there. When you clap, all the birds fly away. Same way, in our we have Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all these enemies in our heart, and by clapping and dancing in front of Krishna, the sound of clap which is coming, the sound vibration remove all impurities present in our chitta, our consciousness. Bowing down in honor of the deity, that is how what we do the temple. The moment we enter temple, we bow down to Prabhupada and the deities. In the Naradiya Purana, it states that bowing down and offering respect to the deity, it is said, a person who has performed a great ritualistic sacrifice and a person who has simply offered his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord cannot be held as equals. The person who has executed many great sacrifices will attain the result of pious activities, but when such results are finished, he has to take birth again on the earthly planet. However, a person who has once offered respect, so bowing down before the deity, will not come back to this material world again, because he will go directly to the abode of Krishna. Look at that. Just bowing down, Krishna is giving and coming through our Acharya, Sanatana Goswami, he will directly go to the abode of Krishna. Standing up to receive the Lord, in the Brahma Samhita Purana, a person who sees the Lord Rathayatra, car festival, then stand up to receive the Lord, can purge all kinds of sinful desires from body. Any example here? Anybody in the call? What example we can give here?
Ratha Yatra, Prabhupada.
Absolutely, Mataji. Oh, Satyabhama Mataji, right?
Yes, right.
Yes, absolutely, Mataji. So, Rathayatra, Lord Himself comes out of and He gives, darshan to all the fallen souls like you and me. So we receive His blessings. And standing, when you see Jagannath cart, we bow down and we pray to Jagannath. And that's how all this purges all the sinful reactions, right? So this is one of the reasons that how Ajnata Sukriti works as well. Ajnata Sukriti is like, the credits which we don't know we acquire it. Because when the Ajnana Sukriti comes to certain point, critical point, then you will connect it with the devotees of the Lord. When we take the Yatra right in the roads, people every lifetime they acquire certain credits, Sukriti, then the time comes they become the devotees of the Lord. Just seeing one what you call one vision at Jagannath Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra, and there is a chance that a person can become devoted in the next life, following the deity. Right? A similar statement in Bhavishya Purana said, even if a born of a low family, a person who follows Rathayatra car when the deities pass in front of or behind will surely elevate it to the position of achieve equal opulence with Vishnu. Right? Going to temple of Vishnu or to places. I think this one reminds me that Ambrish Maharaj, in the ninth canto, I guess, there is a one shloka, like, how every part of the body and also how every sense, like, can be used for the worship of the Supreme Lord, like Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor, Vacham Shivai Kunta Gunana Varnane, Karo Hare Manjara Mahajana. It's like that. Every part of the body is utilized to purify our senses. The whole process of devotional service is purification, right? Elevating our consciousness. Okay, and going to the temple Vishnu places and circumambulating the temple of Vishnu. We all know that, right? When you go to temple, we circumambulate, right? That is also here said that a person who is circumambulating the deity of Vishnu contract the circumambulation of repeated birth and death in the material world. Wow. Look at how Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada explaining that if you circumambulate the temple, then it's counteract the circumambulation of repeated birth and death. So it stops birth and death cycle. If you okay, Archana means deity worship in the temple. By executing this process, one confirms himself to be not the body but spirit, soul. The 10th canto 81st chapter was Srimad Bhagavatam told how Sudama, an intimate friend of Krishna, while going to the house of Brahmana, murmured to himself. Simply worshipping Krishna, one can easily achieve all the results of heavenly opulence, liberation, supremacy over the planetary systems of the universe, all the opulence of this material world, and the mystic power performing the yoga system. So this was saying the benefit of doing the archana. You get all the benefits, right? Then rendering service to the Lord, stated in Vishnu Rahasya, any person who can arrange for service to the Lord in the same way that a king is given service by his attendants is surely elevated to the abode of Krishna after death. So if you're singing in front of in the Linga Purana, there is a statement about glorifying and singing about the Lord. It is said that a Brahmana who is constantly engaged in the singing the glories of the Lord is surely elevated to the same planet as Supreme Lord Krishna appreciates singing even more than prayers offered by Lord Shiva. Look at that. We do kirtans, singing, we do congregational chanting. How important that is. Krishna himself is giving statement in the Linga Purana. A Brahmana constantly singing in glories of the Lord is surely elevated to the same planet as Supreme Lord. Sankirtan, we do Sankirtan program, Sankirtan Yajna. And here also in the 7th canto, 9th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Prahalad offered the following praise to Lord. My dear Lord Narasimha, if I can be elevated to the position of your servant, then it will be possible for me to hear about your activities. You are the supreme friend, the supreme worshipable deity. Your pastimes are transcendental, and simply by hearing of them, one can counteract all sinful activities. That's what Ambrish Maharaj, Vacham Shi Vaikunta Gunana Varnani. If I want to hear anything, hear about glories of Vaikunta, glories of Krishna. Okay. And then that will counteract all sinful activities. So then going to japa, we all do japa, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chanting a mantra or hymn softly and slowly is called japa. Chanting same mantra loudly is called kirtana. So there's been kirtana and japa. For example, uttering the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, very softly, only for one's own learning is called japa. Chanting the same mantra loudly being called kirtan. So the Maha Mantra can be used for japa and kirtan also. And japa is practiced, it is for the personal benefit of the chanter, but kirtan is for the benefit of all others who may hear. Padma Purana, for any person who is chanting the holy name either softly or loudly, the path to liberation and even heavenly happiness are at once open. Japa and submission. Okay. So I'm just skimming through all this, then we'll go to the real uh, reciting notable prayers. How important reciting the notable prayers here. Okay. Partaking of prasada. So I think I'm supposed to start from here. Partaking prasada. So there is a specific statement in the Padma Purana, a person who honors the prasada and regularly eats it, not exactly in front of the deity, along with Charanamrita, the water offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, which is mixed with seeds of the tulsi tree, immediately can achieve the result of the pious activities that are obtained through 10,000 performances of sacrificial rites. Look at that. How important accepting prasada. Now, prasada, sometimes it happens that we may not be in the temple or we may not be in the position where we cannot afford to deities, but all Krishna is asking is that, remember me, right? And before taking first gulp, we can say Krishna Arpanamastu or Manasika, like Krishna, thank you. So that one word, remembering Krishna, that itself is sufficiently enough to purify our consciousness. That's what looking Krishna is, remembrance, right? Prasad partaking. And this is in the third chapter, this is one shloka, the benefits of the prasad offering here, right? In the third chapter, Krishna says that Yagnashishtasino santa muchante sarva kilbishai bhunjate ta agam papam he prachanti atma karanat. What happens if you don't offer prasadam? The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Otherwise, you prepare food for personal sense enjoyment, verily eat only sin. Sin. So anything that which is not offered to Krishna is a sin. So that is a, and what is the benefit? Muchante sarva kilbishai. Kilbishai means it removes all what you call kilbishai, like negative reactions. Here, Prabhupada writes beautifully, the devotees of the Supreme Lord, persons who are in Krishna consciousness called santas, and they are always in love with the Lord as he described in the Brahma Samhita. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena, shanta sadaiva hridayeshu vilochayanti. The santas being always in compact of love with Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Mukunda, or Krishna, cannot ask for anything without first offering it to the Supreme Person. It is not that Krishna doesn't have or is hungry, but it's our gratitude for what he has given to us. And once you give it to him, that becomes spiritualized. That's the difference between matter and spirit, right? You can take and eat, doesn't matter, but when you offer it to Krishna, that becomes prasada. So with the remnants. Therefore, such devotees always perform yagnas in different modes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, etc. So that's how. And therefore, in order for the people to become happy in all respects, they must be taught to perform the easy process of engaging in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there can be no peace or happiness in the world. So Prabhupada writes beautifully, what is the peace formula, he says. The peace formula is that involve Krishna everywhere, in every aspect of that. Peace automatically comes, right? So, and here, next, here, drinking Charnamrita. This is, I think, very important. In our temples, we make Charnamrita, right? What's the benefit of, can any devotee can read this paragraph, please? Anyone on the call?
Can't see the paragraph, Prabhu.
Yes, read Mataji. I'm not sharing the document.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
I'm
Prabhu.
It's not coming on a screen, so
my.
we cannot read.
Then why didn't you tell me, Mataji? I'm sorry extremely. I'm reading without sharing. Here. Drinking Charnamrita. Yeah.
Charanamrut is obtained in the morning while the Lord is being washed before dressing, scented and perfumes and flowers. The water comes gliding down through his lotus feet and is collected and mixed with the yogurt. In this way, this Charanamrut not only becomes very tastefully flavored, but also has a tremendous spiritual value. As described in the Padma Purana, even a person who has never been able to give a charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in the other words, even one who has never done any pious activities, will become eligible to enter the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the Charanamrut that is kept in the temple. In the temple, it is custom that Charanamrut be kept in the big pot. The devotee who come to visit and offer a respect to the deities take 3 drops of Charanamrut very submissively and feel themselves happy in transcendental bliss.
Absolutely. So that's the beauty of Charnamrita, that we do every day Abhishek to Radha Sham Sundar. Then we keep that Charnamrut for the devotees to come and honor it. And how important Charnamrut is, that because it's coming and touching the lotus feet of Krishna, Vishnu, and that Charnamrut, even when big festivals comes, when we do Abhishek, we take Charnamrut first. Even after fasting, we take Charnamrut, very, very auspicious activity. And Prabhupada writing here, the devotees who visit offer respect to deity, 3 drops Charnamrita very submissively and feel themselves happy in the transcendental bliss. So, and tremendous spiritual value. Purana says that a person who never gave charity before, in other words, even never has done pious activities, become eligible to the kingdom of God, going back home, back to Godhead. Then the next one is smelling the incense or flowers offered to the deity. When we do arati, this also covers, like, when you do arati, why each activity we are performing, what is the benefit of arati also. Smelling the incense or flowers offered to the deity. Anybody would like to read first paragraph? Hare Krishna. We have devotees, how many devotees?
If nobody is available,
In
I
the-
can still read.
In the Hari Bhakti Sandhya, there's a statement about the incense which is offered in the temple. When the devotees smell the good flavor of the incense which is offered to the deity, they thus become cured of the poisonous effects of material contamination, as much as one becomes cured of a snake bite by smelling the prescribed medicinal herbs. The explanation of this verse is that there is an herb found in the jungles that expert persons know how to use to revive the consciousness of one who has been bitten by a snake. Simply by smelling the herb, one becomes immediately relieved of the poisonous effects of the snake bite. The same example is applicable. When a person comes to visit the temple and smells the incense offered to the deity, he is cured at the same time from all his material contamination.
And so beautiful. So just by smelling the flower offered to the incense offered to the deity, and will be removed from the material contamination. Right? So yeah, this is self-explanatory here. Next paragraph, Prabhuji, can you read? Keep reading. Who read just now?
One more.
Yeah.
Any devotee coming into the temple should always offer something to the deity, fruit, flower, incense, etc. If one cannot offer anything in cash, something else must be offered. In India, the system is that all the ladies and gentlemen who come in the morning to visit the temple bring so many things. Even one morsel of rice or one morsel of flour can be offered. It is a regulative principle that one should not go to see a saintly person or the deity in the temple without any offering. The offering may be very humble or it may be priceless. even a flower, a little fruit, or a little water. Whatever is possible must be offered. So when a devotee comes to offer something to the deity in the morning, he is sure to smell the good flavor of the incense, and then at once he will become cleansed of the poisonous effects of material existence.
So this is, I think we heard in India that when you go to any famous people like teacher or brahmanas or the temple, you should not go with empty hands, right? Here, Krishna giving even a flower, a little fruit, a little water. That's 9th chapter, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. Anything that, well, of course, we are all can. That's only saying, but we all can give better than Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. And whatever is possible must be offered. So when a devotee comes to offer something to the deity in the morning, he should to smell the good flavor of the incense offered to Krishna, and he becomes again the poisonous effect. Prabhupada, right? Poisonous effects of material existence. Look at that. Poisonous effects of material existence. So everything in the material existence which is not connected to Krishna is a poisonous. Why? Because it gives is the negative effects, right? It keeps us back, it binds us back into the karmic reactions, which is not offered to Krishna. That's why it's called poisonous effect. Prabhupada beautifully puts here. Okay. Okay. The next next paragraph. Can you someone else can read next paragraph?
It is stated in Tantra Shastra, if the smell of the garland that was offered to the deity in the temple enters into a person's nostrils, immediately his bondage to sinful activities becomes cleared. And even if one has no sinful activities, still, by smelling such remnants of flowers, one can advance from Mayavadi, impersonalist, to devotee. There are several instances of this, a prime one being the advancement of the four Kumaras. They were impersonalist Mayavadis, but after smelling the remnants of flowers and incense in the temple, they turned to become devotees. From the above verse, it appears that the Mayavadis or impersonalists are more or less contaminated. They are not pure.
Look at it, how beautiful. I think we all know this example. Four Kumaras, they smell the tulsi leaves offered to Krishna. And flowers, and they became Mayavadis to devotees. What is the Mayavadi like? Person who thinks God has no shape, no form, God as a light, or they worship only the impersonal feature of the Brahman, like a light. They think God is a light. Okay, those people have no relationship with Krishna. But if they Mayavadis that who believe non-personal form of Krishna, and when they come to temple once and smell the flowers, their mood or their bhakti changes from impersonal to personal, become devotees. And the above accepted Mayavadis or impersonal are more or less contaminated. Prabhupada writes sometimes about Mayavadis. Mayavadis, they think God has no shape. Because of their inability to understand Krishna person, they made God as a formless in India. Okay. If you make form of God as a formless, then we don't have to do anything. We can sit simply, enjoy. But the moment you make God as a person, then service begins. They don't want to take that service. And they're not even convinced that God is a person. They think God is a light. And those people, when they come to temples and smell, they become the devotees. There are three ways we can realize Krishna. Paramatma, Bhagavan, and Paramatma, right? Impersonalist and impersonal Brahman and partial realization and Bhagavan realization. So Mayavadis are basically they believe in the non-existence of the personal form of the God. They think God is a light. And they become devotees as well. And it's confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, one who has not washed off all reactions of sinful activities cannot be pure devotee. A pure devotee has no more doubts about the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus he engages himself in Krishna conscious and devotional service. A similar statement in Agastya Samhita, just to purify the impurities of our nostrils. We should try to smell the remnants of flowers offered to Krishna. That's the reason why when you give arati, offer flower to Krishna, then we give it everyone to smell. By that smell, what that smell signifies, that when you offer to Krishna, it touches Krishna's body, and when you take that and you put near our nostrils, when you take that hair, that purifies our internal um, impurities as well. Purify the impurities of our nostrils. We should smell the remnants of the flowers offered to Krishna. So Krishna is giving ample opportunities for us to purify our consciousness through our senses. Okay, any part of the body we can use, and we can purify our consciousness, elevate our consciousness. Okay, then touching the deity. Anybody would like to read this one, please?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah, Purandare. From there, in the,
In the Vishnu Dharmotra, there is a statement about touching the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said only a person who is initiated as a Vaishnava and is executing devotional service in Krishna, consequent has the right to touch the body of the deity. In India, there was agitation during Gandhi's political movement because the low-born classes of men like street sweepers and candles are prohibited according to Vedic systems from entertaining the temple due to their unclean habitats. They are prohibited, but at the same time they are given another facilities so they may be elevated to the highest grade of devotional service by association with pure devotees. A man born in any family is not bared, but he must be cleansed. The cleaning process must be adopted. Gandhi wanted to make them clean simply by stamping them with a fiction named Harijana, children of God. And so there was a great tug-of-war between the temple owners and Gandhi's followers.
Yeah, so the more so important here is the cleanliness. Doesn't matter what caste, what creed, we belong to. The cleanliness is very important. Prabhupada putting like. So touching the deity, so we need to, touching the deity is so Krishna is so pure that when we touch, we need to have some bodily cleanliness. We take shower and we go to the restrooms, etc., so that we touch, because Krishna is coming in the form of Archa Vigraha, right? Archa Vigraha form to give a chance for us to serve him. We should honor that, and we should be maintaining cleanliness. It doesn't matter, no, we are all, by birth, we are all Shudras, but by maintaining bodily cleanliness, that would actually give a chance to touch the deity. And a lot of people, they want to touch the deity when they come to temple, but they have to come with a cleanliness. Cleanliness is very, very essential. But anyway, the present law is the law of all scriptures, that if anyone is purified can enter into the temple. Actually, there is a position. Only one who is properly initiated, who is properly following the rules and regulations can enter the touch deity, not all. And one who touches the body of the deity, following such regular principles, is immediately delivered from the contamination of material sins, and all of desires becomes fulfilled. So in ISKCON, we have a rules that first initiation, second initiation, Brahman Diksha, then you do chant Gayatri mantras, and with that cleanly process, then we come and touch the deities and we serve the deities, we dress them, we offer prasadam to them. So there's a certain qualification is needed for the touching the deities. First is cleanliness. Whether you touch the deities or not, cleanliness is very, very essential everywhere. If the cleanliness is not there, then Prabhupada always used to say that, godliness comes only after cleanliness. So cleanliness is very, very important in case of devotional service when you especially deal with the Archa Vigraha form of Krishna. Okay. Okay, someone else can read the seeing the deity. Okay. How many? We have 24 devotees. Nobody wants to read.
I can
In
read
the
Prabhuji.
Varaha Purana, there's a statement praising the seeing of the deity of Sri Krishna in the temple. The devotee says there, my dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to Vrindavan and sees the deity of Govinda Dev is free from the courthouse of Yamaraj and is allowed to enter into the highest planetary system in which reside the demigods. This means that even an ordinary person who goes to Vrindavan out of inquisitiveness and by chance sees the temple, especially that of Govinda Dev, even if he is not elevated to the spiritual kingdom, it is still assured promotion to the higher planetary systems. This means that simply by visiting the deity of Govinda Vrindavan, one becomes highly elevated in pious life.
Right. Look at that. Just by looking, Prabhupada used to always say that any person's life, devotional life, begins if they see deity of Krishna one time, or they chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or they come in contact with the devotees. Once they connected, either way, and their devotional life has begun. It's just a matter of time when they will come back again, when they become devotees. So that powerful name of Krishna is that once look at the Govinda Deva, especially Govinda Deva means now I'm remembering this. Uh, what is that? Rajasthan. What is that place? Uh, Jaipur. Yeah, Jaipur, Radha Govinda Deva. Uh, how beautiful Radha Govinda Deva and Radha Gopinath, Radha Madan Mohan. Those deities are so precious that just one glance seeing them, all our sinful activities accumulated life after life can be eradicated very easily. That powerful, looking at the deity form of Govinda Deva or Gopinath or Madan Mohan. If you go to Vrindavan, we have 5,000 temples. Any temple, you go to Krishna Balram temple, Radha Shamsundar, Gaur and looking at the beauty of those deities is so enthralled, capturing our attention. And just by seeing them, looking at them, if you go to any, for that matter, any ISKCON temple, you see all the deities in ISKCON temples, how beautifully they're decorated with fresh flowers. It's not that all fake flowers. Even in our central New Jersey, we have fresh flowers offered to them every day for all the deities. All the deities. And looking their beauty, mesmerized that we don't like any other beauty in the world. And you bring any other beauty in the world, nothing matches with this beauty. Right? And seeing them like a eradication of sinful actions from life after life. Just even by inquisitive, some people want to have less inquisitiveness, by chance see the temple, especially Govinda Deva, elevated, even if he not elevated spiritual kingdom, it is assured of the going to higher planetary systems and reap the benefits of higher planetary system, elevated life, pious lives. That beautiful it is, just by seeing deity of the Krishna. See, Krishna, look at that, how merciful our Supreme Father is that He's giving a chance for us every minute, every second. Whatever we do perform, we connect to Krishna. For example, we have eyes are there. We can use our eyes to see the beautiful form of Krishna. Legs are there. We use these legs for walking to the temple of Vishnu. Hands are there. We can use these hands to clean the temple. In the temple, not necessarily temple, your house can become temple. When Krishna and Radha Krishna at home or Gaurnita at home, that house becomes the temple and we can serve in the temple. So he gives Archa Vigraha form. He becomes your home as a deity and gives a chance to serve him. So then you name it, he gives the chance. Only thing is we need to have a desire. We need to have a what you call laulyam. Laulyam in the sense that greediness to serve the Supreme Lord. And then he will manifest. The moment you think, Krishna, I want to serve you, he will provide ample opportunities to serve him anywhere, everywhere in the world. That's the beauty of this Prabhupada's mission and what he has done for us. Wherever you go in the country, we have ISKCON temples. Prasadam is there. Offered to Radha Govinda, Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram, Gaurnitai, offer to them and eat those remnants. That's powerful. Okay. Okay, next we have observing Arati and celebrations of the Lord. Do we have any volunteers? The last section. Go ahead. Anybody wants to read?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yeah.
In the Skanda Purana, there is following description of the result of seeing Arati, worship of the deity. If someone sees the face of the Lord while Arati is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reactions coming from many, many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from the killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities.
Look at that. Just by seeing the deity form of Krishna while Arati is going on. But what we do when Arati is going on, we check WhatsApp messages, we take the phone calls. Just when you pay attention to the Arati, just look at the beautifulness, especially when you go to Mangala Aratis, sometimes, or evening Gaur Arati going on. Look at the beauty of the form. Look at each part of the body of Krishna and appreciate that, that that attention of that one is so um, useful that any sinful reactions, if you do commit certain mistakes, we go and do this, that to eradicate that sin. But just by seeing the form of the Lord in the temple, that will eradicate all sinful reactions from many, many lifetimes, thousands of millions of years past. Look at that, Prabhupada words. Many, many thousands and millions of years past. All the sinful reactions are completely eradicated. That powerful, the deity form of Krishna. Okay, second paragraph, someone else, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Jai.
Go ahead.
As we have already explained, there are many different ceremonies to be observed, such as the birthdays of Krishna and birthday of Lord Ramchandra, the birthday of some prominent Vaishnavas, and the ceremony of Jhulan Yatra with the Lord sitting on a swing, and Dola Yatra, the Lord's activities in the month of March. In all festivals, the Lord is seated on a car, and the car moves through different states of city so that people may take advantage of visiting the Lord. In this Bhavishya Purana, it is said that in such a ceremony, if even a chandala dog eater simply out of curiosity sees the Lord on the cart, he becomes counted as one of the associates of Vishnu.
Look at it, how merciful Krishna. When we take our Jagannath Yatra in New York City, lot of people, tourists, they just look at the Jagannath, right? By looking at the Jagannath, he becomes counted as one of associates of Vishnu. And they remove their all previous reactions, whatever they have done. And, birthdays, Janmashtami, and Sri Ram Navami, Ramachandra's birthday, and prominent Vaishnavas, Acharyas, and Jhulan Yatra, right? Especially in the summer that comes, like Jhulan Yatra, the Lord sitting on a swing. You go and pull the string, and Radha Krishna deity is sitting in that, and they're in the swing, moving back and forth. If you look at their beauty, and these are all different ways how we can purify our consciousness and elevate to the higher level. And Prabhupada writes in such ceremony, even Chandala, dog eater, simply out of curiosity sees the Lord, the God. He becomes associates of Vishnu. As I said before, Prabhupada always says that if one person comes to Vishnu Krishna temple or hears about Krishna, his devotional life has begun. look at here, out of curiosity also he sees the Supreme Lord and he becomes associates of Vishnu. It means our Supreme Father Krishna is so, so, so merciful. I don't think anybody in this world is merciful as Krishna is. If you want to please your relatives, please our own kids also, we need to bribe them. It's an honest opinion, right? Okay, I'll give this one. Can you do this one for me? I'll give this one. Can you do this for me? Once they grow up, they don't listen to us, right? But look at the Krishna's mercy. Even though we turned back to him, saying, I don't want to be with you, we came here out of envious of Krishna. Krishna still giving ample opportunities for us. How my son can come to me, how my daughter can come back to me. Let me, every place he makes comfortable for us to take his association, come back, but we always turn around. No, let me enjoy here. Let me enjoy here. I'm here, happy Krishna. Please don't interfere in my life. I want to be alone. I don't want to be with you. Right? But Krishna says, all the time, everywhere, he gives ample opportunities. Just look at it, just by looking at him, out of curiosity, he becomes associate of Vishnu. These words, we cannot take it lightly because it's coming from the Acharya. Srupa Sanatana Goswami's Acharyas. They're the close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu imparted his causeless mercy on them in Varanasi for 15-20 days, very, very secretly. And after that, they came and they produced enough literature on Vaishnava philosophy, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, Sandigdha Madhava, Vidagdha Madhava. So many literature came out after Mahaprabhu blessed them. Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine, Gauratisya Namaha. He is the one who gives Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave that information to them and they produced a voluminous literature on Vaishnava philosophy. And this is coming from them. It's not ordinary people, just somebody, some Tom, Dick, and Harry is coming and they're composing this one. This is the knowledge revealed to them, this revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they're coming and giving us fallen souls like you and me so that we get benefited. How we can go back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada has beautifully puts every purport Prabhupada says, back home, back to Godhead, back home. That's our home where we belong to. And that home we have to go. And to go that home, he is making so many arrangements to come back. Like our own children, when they go and live somewhere else, we make attractions. Okay, I'll leave this one, please come and stay with me. Okay, Krishna is giving so many attractions to go back where you don't have to worry for birth, death, old age, and disease. We come here to the place where the world where though four things are not available, we're searching for them here. How I can live here forever. How I can be happy here, where happiness doesn't exist. How I will not get old. Okay, when you go to beauty parlors, we don't become young, right? So we are making artificial arrangements when Krishna giving the permanent solution. Come to me, you'll be no birth, no death, no old age, no disease. But we are looking for those things where they don't exist here. Means we're challenging Krishna all the time. Krishna, you said, I am not going to be happy in material world. Dukkalam ashvashvatam. I'll show you I'll be happy here. And we'll be happy for 2 or 3 days. Then fourth day we'll be sad again. Right? That is the nature of this material world. And Krishna is out of causeless mercy through acharyas. Rupa Sanatana Goswami, they are manjaris in the spiritual world. They are communicating this information to you and me. How fortunate we are to get this information. And we'll be given a solution, formula for deathlessness. We have a formula for deathlessness. You can live forever. You never get old. You'll always 16 years old boy. And you never have to die. You never have to take birth again. Solution is clearly given here. But what we are trying? We are turning away. We are looking for artificial way of living, artificial way of enjoying. Okay? Can somebody read the last paragraph, please? Last but not least, please, quickly. We'll be running out.
The Agni Purana, that's the one. Agni
Yes,
Purana is
Mataji. Yes,
stated.
yes, yes, Mataji.
In the Agni Purana, it is stated, any person who is gladness sees the worship of the deity in the temple will obtain the result of Kriya Yoga, which are described in a Panchatantra scripture. Kriya Yoga is a system of practice much like practical devotional service, but it is especially meant for the mighty yogis. In other words, by the gradual process, the mighty yogis are eventually elevated to the devotional service of the Lord.
Lord. So giving example.
Who is a
Agni Purana.
mystic yogi?
Mystic yogis. Mataji, mystic yogis is like yogis like who do all the yoga, this, that, like magics, etc. Those people are called mystic yogis. Okay? In the Agni Purana, any person who in gladness see the worship of the deity in the temple will obtain the results of Kriya Yoga. So in the Pancharatra scriptures of Narada Pancharatra scriptures. Kriya Yoga is a system of practice much like practical devotional service. It is especially meant for the mystic yogis. In other words, by this gradual process, even mystic yogis also in the practice, they become the devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Okay. So the worship of the deity in the temple is so important, right? And again, worship in the sense you may be directly worshiping, addressing them, or you may be coming and standing and participating in the arati, looking at the deity. There's also deity worship, basically, worshiping the deity in the temple, arati, and looking at the standing and looking at their dressing, their every part of the body of Krishna. And that is also kind of a deity worship, like you can worship them. So any process here, given that different ways, how ultimately the bottom line is how to purify our senses, because there are 3-4 types of consciousness. I said achadika svetana, samutka chetana, budding consciousness, etc. So we have to fully elevate our consciousness to the highest realm that we can see Krishna everywhere. And see Krishna in everywhere and everyone. So that only possible by purifying our senses. Okay. So that is what this lesson is about. Different ways how we can see the presence of the Lord everywhere. And that's why Brahma also did same job. He was thinking Krishna is like ordinary person. Brahma thought he is the creator. He gained everything. But after playing some games with Krishna, he comes and writes Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita, he explains very clearly, right? You are the Supreme Lord, and nobody is greater than you. Whole Brahma Samhita is manifested by Brahma and giving the address of Krishna, where Krishna lives, and how does he look, and what is the Krishna's home is made of. Now, Krishna's home is made of what? All golden bricks in the Vaikuntha planets, Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, everything is like a wish fulfilling desire trees are there, and all surabhikos are there, and every person in the spiritual is serving Krishna, and they don't die, they never become old, and they always think about Krishna. Krishna is their primary deity in the spiritual world, and they have nothing else. They don't have to go to work, they don't have to cook. In the spiritual, everything is absolute. And that place where we all have to plan to go there, right? You don't have to cook there. The moment you say laddu comes and falls in your mouth. The moment you say, I want bagara bhaigan, it comes and falls in your mouth. The moment you say, there's no diabetes, you don't have to take any pills there. There's no BP, nothing. You eat as much as you want, right? And only thing you're doing is associating with Krishna in his activities. And you can have a bigger house because spiritual world is 3-4 times bigger than our material creation. Big houses, you can have as big as house you want. And those are the facilities in the spiritual world. And they're all for what? Just by remembering name of Krishna 24/7, we can go there. He's asking, just remember me, that's it. He's not asking, oh, don't eat, don't sleep, don't do this. He's asking, just remember my name. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Remember me all the time, then I'll be with you, you'll come to me. Right? So there's a conclusion, dear devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any reflections to share, or anybody has any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Wonderful explanation. It was very nice. Like each word, how you explain nicely. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the lovely class. This is my first time joining with you. I have a, I suppose, neophyte, very elementary question. Recently, I've had the opportunity to serve in the kitchen at the Philadelphia temple and consume the Charnamrita. And I notice how the pujaris use Tulsi Devi. And to my understanding, you're not supposed to consume Tulsi Devi, but when you're taking the Mahaprasadam and mixing it in, Tulsi Devi is there. And when you go in the Charitamrita cup, Tulsi Devi is there. Does that make it that she's sanctified, needs to be mixed into it, and you're supposed to consume it? Or are you supposed to leave it to the side from being mixed in or consumed?
Oh,
I hope that makes sense.
let me understand question, Mata. You're asking that when you offer Charna Amrita Prasadam to Krishna, Tulsi Maharani is offered, right? So when you take Bhoga out and the Tulsi Maharani, what they offer to Krishna, can we consume or not? Is that your question?
Correct, Prabhu.
Yeah, I mean, what my experience and what I know, once we offer prasadam to Krishna with Tulsi leaves, offering is done. Krishna accepted. We'll take that as a remanence prasada. Even Tulsi leaves also, when we take Tulsi leaves, we don't chew them. We swallow them usually. So as far as I know, there is nothing wrong in taking the Tulsi leaves offered to Krishna, then remanence comes, we can take them. So I never heard anything that we should not take it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Why do we swallow the tulsi leaf, not the chew? What is the reason behind?
Yeah, very good question, Mati. You caught me on that one. Tulsi, honestly, Mati, I think because, we don't want to use our teeth and chew, because Tulsi is so auspicious, we just want to swallow it. Maybe there is shastric explanation, I don't know. So, yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I don't know where I got this, but they said Tulsi has mercury in that. And if we chew with your teeth, so we can get decay in our teeth. So that's why. And maybe spiritually, we should not touch our teeth to Tulsi Maharani.
Yeah.
So that should be there. But scientific reason is that.
Oh, could be. Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam to
Ashish
everyone.
Prabhu ki jai.
Jai Prabhu, Haribol Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Prabhu, my question is that the darshan to the deity, right? To see deity's lotus feet from the home through internet or through Zoom and directly go to the temple. Is there any difference, or there is some difference? We know that go to the temple, there is some environment there, or home deity you can darshan. So what will be the effect? Can you explain a little bit about the difference?
Sure. Now, if you are in the vicinity of the temple, walkable distance, it's preferable to go and take the direct darshan. The direct darshan is, has a different effect, right? And, if you are far away and you're working, you're too tired, you're not able to go. I mean, Zoom, like the technology for the Krishna, nothing wrong in taking Zoom darshan. And, it's all our bhava matters, right? Because we're in the home or temple, when you have that consciousness that our mood is in a good way, that you can take darshan. For example, now you're close to temple. If I were you, I would recommend go to temple and take darshan and come back. And but on the busy working schedule day, I mean, again, our busy working schedule is for Krishna also, right? Because we work to meet our end so that we can practice devotional service. So Krishna knows our hard work also. And if you are not able to, if you're tired and if you're not able to do, take Zoom darshan and nothing in wrong. It all our what you call conscious of it. It is it again. Somebody asking, I want to go to Vrindavan. I want to settle in Vrindavan. Nothing wrong in that having the desire, but when while living in Vrindavan, you don't want to have a different consciousness. Develop that consciousness that either I'm Vrindavan or here, I want to maintain that consciousness. So the consciousness is very important. Even if you're looking at the Zoom, you can, for example, all over the world we have ISKCON deities dressed up, and we in the pictures we get and we see enjoy. And every morning, Radha Sham's in the picture they put once the dressing is done. People we go to work and we see and take darshan of them. So it is like our mood. If you are close to the temple, go. If not, once in a week is fine. So there's no like a hard and fast rule. But if you're close to the temple, maybe you can go. So that's my take on it. I don't go to temple every day, right? And we can read Shastra, that is equivalent of reading Shastra every day and chanting. If you have a consciousness, you can see Krishna while chanting also, right? Because Krishna is Nama Chintamani, Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Krishna invests his name, form, qualities, pastimes, and name itself. So as you elevate your consciousness, you can, while chanting, can see Krishna as well. Okay, so there are different ways you can perceive Krishna. But if you're close by walkable distance temple, just go and take darshan. If not, then Zoom is fine. Now with the class, we are supposed to sit all together and hear Krishna Katha. Now we are hearing from the Zoom. What is the effect? It all our consciousness. In the olden days, we all evening we come together, we all gather together and hear Krishna Katha. I should not read from internet, I should read from the book, hold book in the hand and read it. But Prabhupada says time, place, circumstances, we have to act. Right? So that's my take on Prabhuji.
Yes. Nicely, very nicely, you wonderfully you explain, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
Dandavat
you so
Pranam.
much. Yeah. Anyone else?
Prabhu Hare Krishna.
Rajesh Prabhu.
The question may not be that.
No, but at least while talking, can you switch on your camera? At least I can see. I'm talking. I'm not impersonalist. I'm a personalist. I want to see the faces. At least while talking. Okay, if you're not in a good condition, that's okay. But if you, as long as you're, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, as you explained in the class today that if you take Charnamrita, if you do pull the Rath Yatra, if you name Hare Krishna, like you did everything in your life, like you are the pujari and you even touched the lotus feet of Krishna. Now, what inspires you to do it daily, or what makes you feel like you are already blessed for so many years and maybe past 100,000 years? Now you are pure, right? Now, what inspires you to do it daily?
Oh, you are asking $1 million question, Prabhuji. What inspires to do every day this action? Very good question. Let me talk to the elevated devotees on the call. Mataji, Prabhuji, anybody would like to answer this question? Satyabhama
Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna,
Bimal
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Yeah,
All
Bimal
Krishna.
Prabhu, thank you. Thank you. You are my saver.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So, I understand what Prabhuji asked. So, it's love, Prabhuji. It's love. You know, So can you be away with your father? You cannot be away with your father, right? Your father has always served you for until you grow older, right? And you become independent. So Lord Krishna's mercy is so that he made us independent, and that is the love and affection which helps us to serve him more and more, more and more, more and more. So the moment you serve, you will feel that that loveness which I cannot explain more and more, but you feel like more and more serving him more and more. Yeah, probably that's what I'll say. Love,
Actually,
love.
Rajesh Prabhu, I hope I'm just assuming that you have a family, kids. I'm just giving a hypothetical case. How much time will be away from your kids?
We can be away if we need to, like, do.
If you need to.
Yeah,
Yeah, otherwise you want to be with family, right?
yeah.
What is making you to stick to the family?
Because I want and I love them. Yeah, love is the main factor.
Vimal Prabhu already put, yeah, nicely. Thanks, Vimal Prabhu. Nicely put it.
So the person who is pulling the cart, who is doing the deity darshan, who is saying Hare Krishna, doesn't mean that he is purified. It means that he has to have a love first, and then only he
See,
should be.
the love develops after service. Because in olden days, marriages are not done after love. Nowadays, people go for dating, then they get married, right? In olden days, our parents, especially, they got married first, then the love developed for them. Because when service develops love, not love develops service. You first like the person, then you serve, then love develops.
So I'm not sure which Prabhu is talking. Prabhuji, the message here is, Sanatan Dharma. What is the Sanatan Dharma? The sugar is always, its nature is to be sweet. Salt nature is always to be salty. And human nature is always to serve. You serve Lord Krishna or you serve Maya, right? If you don't serve Krishna, then you're serving Maya. Maya could be your family, Maya could be your friends, and all that. So our basic nature of a human being is to serve. And if you're not serving, you will not get that love. And when you serve Krishna, you will see the love coming up. That's the message, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Govardhan Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, and Vimal Prabhu. Can I add something?
Sure, why not? Go ahead.
So, Prabhu, actually, Prabhu, this is the spiritual love, spirituality, spiritual taste, Prabhu. Spiritual love. Spiritual love is pure. So, if you want to taste the pure love, pure thing, purity is the attracted everyone, right, Prabhu? So, if you want to taste the pure love, that's why the Prabhuji every day is serving and getting this pure love, pure taste. So day by day it is increasing. It is not decreasing. Material love decrease one by one. One day you can get a good car, very Tesla car. After that, after 2 months, it is old.
Okay, starting first.
So
Yeah, but
same
sorry,
thing.
but I believe that there are pujaris, there are yogis, there are people who serve God daily, and they think that they are the best devotee of the God. But I don't see in them that love. So I don't feel like just doing the service will make or initiate a love for the God. It has to come within. That's
But
what I.
how that comes within if you don't act?
If you, I don't want to put my perspective, but I have
No, no,
seen.
I'm not saying you, anyone.
Yeah.
See, when you serve, for example, we have our kids, right? Right? When you take care of them, children, then the love develops slowly, slowly. When you serve them, then bondage of love develops. So through service only love develops.
Then why the dog eater sees the Ratha Yatra of the Lord purified by just touching or seeing the Lord?
That is the mercy of the Lord. That is the what you call He's giving opportunity, when you see him, he gives some benefit. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
No problem.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. One of my dear teachers, when I was very new to the bhakti path, I asked him, actually I didn't ask him, someone else asked him, but the question resonated with me. How does one come to love Krishna? And his response was to constantly hear about Krishna. And so at the time, I didn't have much opportunity to serve Krishna. And so I took his instruction and I listened every day, Srimad Bhagavatam. And slowly, I became, enamored by Krishna. And prior to coming to Krishna consciousness, I was an atheist. I was a vehement atheist, and I didn't want anything to do with God. But because the Bhagavad Gita resonated with me, and because I wanted to love Krishna, I followed that instruction and heard every day, and the love came.
Yeah. So you did some service. Rehearing Krishna Katha is a service. Yeah. Absolutely. How Rukmini Devi, how she just, by hearing about Krishna, she decided to get marry him. His glories, just by hearing glories. Love developed.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Same here, like before coming to ISKCON, we used to go to temple and meet like other. But here, when we came and we started service like garlands or cooking service or other services, serving. So that is a mutual relationship between devotees and us. Even when we see Lord, they in nice dress and all that. So I always feel if we are watching them, so we feel happy. We should be also well dressed so that they feel happy to see, oh, our devotees are beautiful, they are nicely dressed, they are dancing for me. So it's a mutual relationship. I feel like that. Even like we make that chandan for any other services. So first we get that coolness of that chandan and even that fragrance. So whatever we do for pleasure of Krishna, first we get that, right? We are offering prasad, but eventually we are eating and in the association of devotees. So it's really amazing thing what we got. And that's the reason. And even one Sunday we miss, we feel like, oh, so many years we didn't go to temple. Like the next, if somebody didn't come next week, we say, oh, Mataji, you are not there. So many days, I didn't see you. Mataji, oh, only one day. Like Sachirani Mataji, I asked her, Mataji, I didn't see. She said, only one day I didn't come. But it looks like, oh, so many days we didn't meet them. So it's like, it's love. It's spiritual love. And we are really miss what Prabhupada gave us. It's really amazing. We will not get anywhere. Not from relatives, not from family, not from anyone. But devotees association is like, we can't explain that. So that is my realization.
So,
If I go to temple, I can't survive.
Okay, Rajesh Prabhu, we are hearing this one. We did not bribe anyone to say this. Okay, कुछ commission नहीं दिया बोलने के लिए. This is how once you start coming, or everybody develops. It's not that just anybody comes first. That's what it is. Service develops love. We have to serve first, unconditionally. Then love develops automatically. Okay. Yeah, Sachitani Mataji, you were saying something. Go ahead. Raise the hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Amritanandas. Please accept my humble obeisance, all courage to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I wanted to share something about service and love. So service is the platform on which love expresses itself and how love reciprocates. So whenever there is love, there is the lover and the beloved. So that connection is through service. And we all experience it even in our mundane material lives. In absence of service, it just remains a mental, abstract thing. But service is how we can actually feel. So, for example, if your wife makes one of your favorite dishes, she has actually cooked that dish with the consciousness that, oh, how my husband, will be so pleased when he eats it. This is his favorite. So her motive is the beloved's pleasure. And similarly, when the beloved is eating the dish, of course, there is the ingredient and whatever the taste, etc. But in addition to that, there is what they call the rasa of love. So the same dish, for example, if you go and have the exact same recipe in a restaurant, it won't give you the same feeling, it won't give you the same experience because the restaurant is for profit. It's with a motive. So in absence of service, love cannot exist. And love can be serving through body. Love can be serving through mind being constantly absorbed. And love can be through words. And in context to our Hare Krishna, body is when we actually physically do work, whatever, making flowers, cooking, cleaning the toilets in the temple, whatever, deity worship. With words is when we do japa, when we do pravachan, when we share Krishna consciousness with others, and mind being absorbed in Krishna's thoughts when you do the other two. More and more you do it, then the mind automatically follows whatever the body is doing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, sharing wisdom. Yeah. Okay, I think Simeshwar Prabhu is there. Let's see. Okay, looks like we're almost done. I don't see Simeshwar, maybe he's driving, I'm not sure. Okay, if devotees any more questions, if not, then we can call off for the session. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namaha Vaishnavrinda ki jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Bhakta Govardhan, Bhakta Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.